Squirrels! So hello, and welcome to another Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we'll be playing something a bit different, something a bit out there. Some ephemerals, some Maokai. Ephemerals, yes, we are playing Maokai. Ephemerals, what entails such a deck? Well, Maokai, of course, I'm sure many of you know, is a champion that people have been playing around with. He's pretty exciting, he's pretty different, and he's pretty good champion design, I think, because he allows for various strategies through his level up condition, what he does, but we're basically only playing for Maokai's front side. His flip side can happen sometimes, because obviously with ephemerals a lot of things die, but obviously we are playing him because every time we play a unit, he will summon a little sapling ephemeral unit, which means that obviously he can fit in to ephemeral strategies. So we're pairing him with the big boy himself, Hecarim. Once upon a time, the most powerful card in the game, now just a very middling champion to say the least. But what they did to Hecarim was they made it so that when he levels up, he is pretty supreme, giving everything +3/+0, as well as summoning 2 5/2s at that point. And obviously Maokai allows us to attack with these saplings, which gives us extra sapling ephemeral attacks for Hecarim, meaning that we should be able to hopefully level him up. So let's talk through the deck itself then. So we're starting off with HAPLESS Aristocrat. What you'll realize about ephemerals is, if you ever try to build an ephemeral deck, is that essentially you have to strike some sort of balance. You have to find the right amount of each unit. And it's very difficult to do it because if you go all in ephemerals and just pick all the ephemeral cards, you'll find you'll get absolutely demolished by any sort of aggro deck ever. You'll just get demolished, completely demolished. You have to find things to play on your defensive turns quite often. And so that's why we're adding in units like Warden's Prey, HAPLESS Aristocrat. Warden's Prey I think is especially good because he goes well with Maokai, and that is because when he dies he creates a follower in hand from any region that costs 3 or less. And Maokai's restriction is that he needs you to play another ally. It can't be summoned, they have to be played from hand. So Warden's Prey, if a Maokai is on the board, essentially gives you 2 potential saplings if he dies and then comes back. Curse Keeper pairs really well with your boy Blighted Caretaker. Of course, if we kill him we get a 4/4 and 2 saplings, 2 more ephemerals. And these saplings, by the way, are very powerful. An ephemeral challenger is a super good combination, because it means that we don't have to care about if they die, and we can essentially just chip away at something's health. So Curse Keeper, Glimpse, obviously our units are going to be dying anyway, so drawing 2 from them can be quite useful. Haunted Relic I think is the better of the 2 mana summon some ephemerals. It gives us a wider board, it gives us its potential for offense and defensively, of course. Particularly defensively, this can be quite a good spell to use because 3 chump blockers that you don't care about is quite useful in certain matchups. Shock Chariot is always an interesting card. It looks like it's amazing, perhaps to new players, but it's very clunky when you actually play it. It is quite clunky. Now it's good when it goes off, and people have tried to combine it with Fading Memories and just get a bunch of shocks. I don't think that's the best way to go. I think this can be a nice combo piece, but shouldn't be your main strategy of winning the game. I think Hecarim is a more reliable sort of top end winner of the game. Soul Shepherd is immense in this deck. So if ephemerals were good, Soul Shepherd would be one of the most talked about cards for a nerf, I think. If ephemerals was tier 1 and had been for all this time, I think Soul Shepherd would have probably seen a nerf, because a 2 mana 2/3, as we all know, is a pretty solid stat line, and giving every ephemeral +1/+1, especially with our little saplings, is of course an amazing synergy. Making these 3 2s instead of 2 1s is ridiculous, of course. And then obviously if, say, they summon Shock Chariots as well that become 4 2s, it's just a really auto keep in any matchup in this deck. If you see this in your open hand, keep it. No matter what the matchup, you want it. And you want it to survive as well. Val Feast, again, I talked about how you need to have certain things to play defensively, and Shadow Isles does give us the chance to do that with cards like Val Feast that give us something to defend with, and that's what we're going to try to be doing with that. Scourge is obviously a monster, ephemeral, and the health gain as well is obviously a great defensive tool, but attacking as well can be very good. And of course we're pairing him with the Deathmark combo. We've got so many ephemerals in this deck that obviously we should find a target for this. It's not just, you know, these two cards going together. There's plenty of other options. We could even put it on a sapling if we wanted to. And essentially this is our removal piece. Maokai, of course, is in the deck, and as I said, we got Grasp and Whale here as a 2-of and a 1-of to essentially give us some reaction on their turns, because that's what we're going to need to be doing. You're going to need to react on their turns. And then finally Hecarim as a top end to... He's going to be our game closer. You know, Maokai is going to be our sort of stabilizer slash board controller as we try and kill them with our saplings. Kill their units, and then Hecarim's going to come in and hopefully close the game out. So that's the deck. Let's jump into some games. So, Swain Misfortune. Interesting, to say the least. And this is what I love. I don't know all the matchups, don't know what we should be doing, don't know what exactly is the correct plays. I don't think Whale is... We probably want Grasp over Whale, and I'd drop the Haunted Relic as well. But the other two could be nice early stabilizers. And Soul Shepherd, very good. And we drew a Hecarim. Not really where we want him. But Aristocrat, great blocker here to start off. And I did think this would be somewhat of an aggressive deck, so that's why we kept what we did. And I'm pretty happy about that decision. Second Hecarim, not obviously what we want to be seeing. I will go in because we're going to play Soul Shepherd, but I doubt we will actually attack with him. As we see a Grenadier come down. We can potentially Val Feast one of these and block the other with the Spider. That's a fine defensive turn. And as I said, on the defensive turns, that's when you need to be considering your plays. So he will just attack. I think... What I will do is Val Feast you. Doesn't matter that much anyway, but whatever. We'll do it. We will obviously take the 2 damage from this. Or will we? No, he just knocks you and furthers it. Obviously pretty good for him there. Stops us getting the Spider as well. But that should be okay, and we can play our Warden's Prey. And at this point, we obviously know we're going to be on the back foot, and we're just trying to survive really until turn 6, in all honesty. Could have played Scourge there, could have been a fine play, but I feel like Scourge can get better value later on, maybe once a Hecarim is out. We'll see what he does. Scourge can obviously be a great blocker, and essentially if he ever gets to a point where his attack is too good, then we can just stop him. He goes for a Make It Rain. I'm absolutely fine with that, because if this thing dies, that's actually going to give us a play this turn. And he kind of just... okay, we got a Grenadier. Decent blocker, so I'm not going to complain. Pretty good blocker there. Can block stuff like... I can't block Misfortune, because of course she puts that on the stack. But we shall see. There's Maokai. That's very good. Maokai into Hecarim could be quite a lethal combo. Ooh, wasn't expecting Slippery Wave Rider, but here we are. So we're going to take 4 from that, of course. But I don't think there's much we could do about that. Not a card I've really seen, but it's coming in big for him here. We're going to need to find a way to stabilize somewhat here, but we should have a pretty good attack with the Hecarim. See what he does now. He's going to parlay. That's fine. That's a cool animation. Obviously our ephemerals are getting buffed up by the Soul Shepherd as well. Ooh, and there's a very nice draw. We can kill something with this Deathmark. See what he does. Not sure exactly what he's running. Obviously we are careful with our health at this point. But Hecarim can get off a big swing here. Let's see what he does. We might... Ooh. So he just passes. Or we can get in a really big attack then. So we can kill him right now, so he has to... How am I going to drag you there? Puts him down on 2. Can he kill us, is the question. Can he kill us? Or should we play, say, Onslaught of Shadows, potentially go in even more? I am a bit worried if we don't kill this, that we could be in some problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack with Hecarim only, I think. No, because we can Vile Feast it once we do that. So yeah, let's go in with everything. We've got Vile Feast. If he does react, we've obviously got Death Mark as well. He's going down to 2. Which means we could be potentially pretty good here, but we'll see. So he lets it through. Now on the attack next turn, we've obviously got Scourge, which should stop anything too big.
Empire.
So he's going to try and deal damage to us that way. We're going to obviously say no to that. And Vile Feast. It's essentially a gain 3 life, which could be potentially very big. Obviously we just need to survive till next turn. That's our only goal right now. And yeah, that's a big swing for us. We go up to 10. Plays 2 powder kegs. That could be pretty juicy. Let's see what he does. We're on 10. You would think we could be okay. We could not be. It's going to be interesting here to see what he does. 2 powder kegs. Here it is. It's a Noxian Fervor. He's going to deal 5 to our face. But surely he's going to struggle to deal 5, or at least I would have thought so. All we need to do is survive this turn. We got the Drain through. The Grasp should keep us alive. I mean, if he's willing to pass, then obviously I am. We're just going to open attack. Does he have 5 from hand? Obviously, we know that he needs more. Ephemerals get the job done, and I think that this is a very interesting build and concept. Soul Shepherd. We didn't see too much of it there, but you saw the general premise. Hecarim as our big closer. But it is very important. I was trying this deck with what's his face, Neverglade Collector here, and it's okay. It's okay, but it's a bit slow. It is a bit slow with this deck, and I think that with these sort of blockers, these early blockers like Hapless and Warden's Prey, that gives you more leverage, I would say, than other things. And Grasp and Wail are important. You have to have defensive tools in this deck. To be honest, Absorb Soul goes quite well with ephemeral decks. You definitely could put this in the deck as well. Essentially gain 4 life for 1, because your units are dying anyway, right? This could be an inclusion in this deck as well, very much so. Yeah. I've been Chris. This has been Ephemeral. Maokai is just showing off a neat little deck for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And I'll see you next time.